going on, guys? Welcome back. It is Jeff. We are here in the OhCanadaRC garage. Back in the setup. I hope you're hearing me okay. I'm really happy that you're back with us and joining us on video, hopefully. As we jump into this episode 5, I think, season 3. Pretty excited to say there's been some new changes. Really making an effort here with the content. Got the backdrop going, which you all saw before. Upgraded some of the audio. So hopefully you're hearing me well, you're seeing me well, and I hope you're well. I hope you're doing well. Some highlights off the top. Really quickly, some promotion so you guys know where to find me. You can, of course, find me on Instagram. You can find me on Spotify. You can find me on iTunes if you like audio and podcast is your thing. If you want to see guests, if you want to watch as we interact, you can also start to find us on YouTube. I've slowly dipped my toe into that water. It's a giant, deep lake that I'm a little afraid of, to be quite honest. But we're trying our best to bring some different mediums for everybody. So at OhCanadaRC on YouTube, what I'm going to be doing there is we'll have segments from the podcast. So we're going to be recording in video some of those segments, and we'll put up those interviews. So if I think there's somebody that might be particularly interesting to you to see, if they have a lot of visual pieces that they're talking about on the show, I'll record that here like this, like you're seeing me now. If you're not listening audio, if you're watching video, you're seeing me now. And really highlight those guests for you. So a couple different ways to see me and hear me and share the content. So check it out: YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, iTunes now, all around. We're going to be doing something on YouTube called BTS, which is behind the scenes, which isn't new to this channel, but we are going to start talking a little bit about what went into a podcast or something that maybe we found out when we had a guest on. So check all of those pieces out. Okay. Let's get into the intro here. So spring in Southern Ontario is definitely in the air. As I speak to you today, it is approximately 8 degrees Celsius, which is pretty warm, pretty nice out. And I know that's getting the juices flowing for me about getting back outside, running RC, and having some good weather. Snow is melting, and that is a great thing. As I look across Instagram and I look across, all the different channels out there, people are definitely, I think, itching to get out. If you are in the Southern United States and you don't have snow as an issue, then all the more power to you. And I'm extremely jealous. But for anybody sort of above sort of the center half of the US into Canada, you know what we're dealing with here. And so that weather giving us a little sniff. Like, it's only the beginning of February, so stuff's going to go sideways. We're going to get more snow and ice and sleet and deep cold. But today and tomorrow are going to be 8 to 9 degrees Celsius, which is, a nice tease for January. And we'll take it. Quite frankly, we'll take it. On that, taking things, I want to say a big thank you to everybody. The podcast is at an all-time high in terms of listens since it's at, actually, I was looking at my analytics, and it's at the highest point since it has been since January 2021. So it's been almost a year since I've been at this high. And I think that it contributed by a lot of things. I've been putting more effort into it. So hopefully you're finding the content more interesting, but also the pandemic, we've all been focused on other things in our lives, and rightfully so. Entertainment has been a big piece of getting through this pandemic together. But at the same time, I understand why people would move away from podcasts or shows, because they're focused on their health and their well-being. I just noticed that the other day. I'm super excited. I just want to give a huge thank you to everybody who listens weekly, to everybody who just pops in and out. If this is your first time, thank you for coming in. I'm pretty encouraged by those numbers. It's going to make me, put it this way, when I see those numbers, it makes me want to do more for you. And it makes me want to really push the boundaries and try to get some more guests in that I think you're going to find interesting. So one more time, thank you very much for that project. Here's how this episode is going to break down. If you read the description, it's It's pretty loosey goosey and it's all over the place, but we're going to do this. We're going to get into some project updates on my bench, 2 key projects I'm going to talk about. Then we're going to transition into an interview I did with Scale Metal Supplies, Andre. My opinion, one of the hardest working guys in RC. And I did this a few weeks ago and finally getting around to finding a good place for it in an episode. So you're going to have a great listen in to Andre and some of the builds he does. That man is a wizard, I would say, at fabrication and brazing. We've met a couple fabrication and brazing wizards over the years. Pablo, obviously, is another one who blows us away with his stuff. But we're going to get into a chat with Andre. We're then going to talk about some race scene news, some local race scene news, indoors and outdoors. We'll transition into Worth Every Penny after that. We're going off the board with Worth Every Penny a little bit. We're going to talk a bit about something that's more than our $0 to $100 range. So that, stick around for that. Could be an interesting segment. We then get into Watts of Soltis. Anthony Soltis will be joining us to talk about bashers, crawlers, those 2 things. He's if you follow him on Instagram, What's the Soltis, he's been doing some cool scale trail truck stuff. Really puts a lot of effort into it, and I really like his passion for things. Is why we keep having Anthony on. He's a good guy too. That obviously is a big reason for it. So stick around for that. And then last but not least, I'm super excited about our final guest on this show. And I told you it was a packed one. And it's just kind of all over the place, but we're going to have the Bash Bros RC on, BBRC. They are a trio of knuckleheads. That's a trio of Canadians. So super excited to have them on. Just starting out in Instagram in that space. And I think I noticed them because they're Canadian. I noticed them because they're putting out some super fine content, really cool videos, how-tos, just exciting stuff, some artsy stuff. And that really draws my eye when I'm looking for stories and people's stories to share. So we're going to round things out with them. BBRC, you got to stick around for this whole episode. Obviously, I don't anticipate you'll listen to this whole thing through, but bookmark it and make sure you come back and don't miss any of these segments. It's going to be a good one. And again, to start off, we're going to get into the updates right now.